Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Skies right now, they are featuring some clouds, and you might notice that they are over a good portion of the area. What's happening, though, is that we just have these higher thin clouds. So a lot of sun still making its way down to the surface, unless you're farther south, where we do have some of the thicker cloud coverage and some of that deeper moisture closer to I-70. And down that way, we've been staying a little warmer throughout the overnight with the lower 70s, while farther north, that's where we have the upper 50s early this morning in Pontiac. Here's a look at the planner for you. We start off with a few of those partly cloudy skies. See a few more clouds throughout the day. Chances of rain, though, are going to be extremely small. We'll let you know who has the better chances, but for many of us farther to the north, I think we're going to be fine. You can leave the rain gear at home. Christy and Mac, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. We're getting over the hump here today at WCIA, so we'll take it. I'm making her laugh today.
I gotta go home.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm laughing too much.
No
Not a good day.
It's not a bad thing, though, right?
No, we're having a good day.
We love our jobs.
Yeah, it was pretty nice coming to work this morning. We'll take it.
We do.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning. I'm McLeod Hageman.
And I'm Christy Batista. Let me get it together.
You got this.
Here's a look at today's top stories. Got some news to read.
Well, Urbana School Board voted to approve the district's reopening plan for the fall, but not before making a few changes.
Superintendent Jennifer Ivory Tatum announced that the administration is now recommending staying fully remote for the entire first quarter, and the board approved that plan. Last week, she announced the district would no longer offer hybrid learning at the start of the year, but could return to that format as early as September 8th. Ivory Tatum says a big driver in that decision was the rise in cases in the area. Another major factor, Champaign's decision to go fully remote for the first quarter.
It impacts us greatly. As Chancellor Jones said, in meetings I've been in with him, there isn't an imaginary wall around the U of I, there isn't an imaginary wall around Champaign either.
She says more than 300 Urbana staff members are from Champaign, and those with kids were facing tough decisions on finding childcare if the districts were not in sync. Urbana's kids are set to return to the classroom on the 24th, so they are less than 2 weeks away from the start of the quarter.
While some schools are starting with remote learning this fall like Urbana, others are giving parents that choice. The Paris district is just one example. To give you an idea of how Paris compares to other districts, it has more than 1,300 students altogether. Champaign schools had more than 10,000 students enrolled last school year. Paris Superintendent Jeremy Larson says nearly 70% of students want in-person instruction. They also want to come back full-time. On the other hand, 33% want remote learning. Larson recognizes there are challenges that come with remote learning. That's why they have people staffed to help in the form of remote learning from the center.
We are going to work with these families to ensure that their children don't get behind. We recognize the importance of an education, and we also recognize doing it in a safe learning environment. And so we just want to work with everyone to ensure that that's what occurs this school year.
And 3 Paris students are positive with COVID-19 right now. Nearly 30 Paris students are being quarantined because of that exposure, along with 2 staff members.
So your forecast today calling for a little more of that sunshine than what we saw back on yesterday. Here's a look at how we're shaping up right now, and you can see that we are definitely noticing some sun out there. The sun, though, going to be filtering in with some of those thin clouds. Here's a look at your Roofing Dog iNet Weather Camera Network. We start off this morning with that cloud coverage kind of here and there. No worries about rain, though, throughout the morning hours. We'll have to keep an eye out for that later on into the afternoon. That will be farther to the south. Storm Tracker Doppler, there's the system now pushing through southern parts of Illinois and now heading into southern Indiana. That's going to be more of the track, but some of this will extend farther north, and I think for sure probably closer to the southern parts of Fayette County, Effingham County, Jasper and Clark County, and Crawford counties. And that's where we probably see the better chances of at least a few raindrops. Farther north, chances are going to be extremely low. Mid-60s in Champaign, 70 right now in Effingham. Going to be a few more clouds around throughout the morning, but we do have those spotty chances of rain here with those clouds throughout the afternoon, with really more sunshine to come into the end of the work week. The weekend, some rain chances will be around for everyone. We'll let you know what that will mean for our temperatures next week coming up later. Mac and Christy.
All right, thank you, Adam. Well, the 33rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team, based out of Urbana, deployed nearly 2 months ago, and they're hard at work keeping our country safe.
Nicknamed Task Force Illini, the group has been around since 1832, and they've been dedicated to improving the country's security. WCIA3's Karina Rubio attended their deployment and also caught up with them via Zoom. She joins us live from the National Guard unit in Urbana with more. Good morning, Karina.
Hey, Christy, good morning. I spoke with the Task Force Illini mission leader who says they've definitely had a busy few months since leaving home. About 165 soldiers were deployed at the ceremony to go help with a combat training, to develop a combat training center in western Ukraine. And this is part of ongoing efforts between the U.S. and Ukraine's armed forces to achieve military reform. That came at the request of the Ukrainian government back in 2015. Task Force Illini soldiers say this is an important mission focused on security and partnership.
Our task force in particular offers and can bring here in our advising mission to the is a lot of combat experience, and we also have a lot of people on our team that have significant experience in training management.
Other countries helping in this effort include Canada, Sweden, and Lithuania. Task Force Illini will spend 9 more months overseas, and the mission's leader says that the military reform will help with Ukrainian armed forces acceptance into NATO. Reporting live in Urbana, Karina Rubio, WCIA3, your local news leader.
All right, thank you, Karina. The Big Ten will not play fall sports due to COVID-19.
This decision comes just 6 days after the league announced its reworked football schedules. Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren says the data and science don't support a safe environment for sports. They're hoping to play this spring, but for now, everything's off the table.
As things began to evolve, you look at the number of cases that are spiking, the number of deaths, not only in our country, in our states where many of our schools are located, but worldwide. I promise that all the decisions that we will make will always put the mental and physical health and safety and wellness of our student athletes at the center.
The Pac-12 also put sports on hold. 3 other Power 5 conferences, the ACC, Big 12, and SEC, have not.
Illini football players were looking forward to getting on the field this fall. They spoke up at many times, making it clear they wanted to play. However, they won't have the chance this year, and they're continuing to express their concerns. Now, many of them have questions and are taking to social media with reaction. And the wide receiver is asking why he can sign waivers for concussions but not COVID-19. Another tweet from him says, "Keep politics out of football. We want to play." Mike Epstein, the Illinois running back, who hasn't been healthy for a full season of football, says the news hurts, but God's timing is always right. I appreciate the fight everyone put up behind the scenes, especially our AD. And speaking of the athletic director, Josh Whitman, he shared a tweet saying, "I delivered hard news to people I care a lot about." Well, to many who have the chance to don't get a chance to have an up-close look at the new John Deere Combine.
Coming up in this morning's report from the farm, a closer, in-depth look. We'll be right back.